Trevor, Aeon. I'm gonna break my foot off in your ass.
Welcome back. Trevor has had quite the adventure in the previous session, which was the last two videos, getting ambushed and even killed by a Githyanki patrol, and then finding himself exploring a seemingly peaceful glade that turned out to be a putrid bog covered in illusion. After this exploration, we return to the grove to rest before we move to confront Kagha at the heart of the Emerald Grove. Trevor picked up this item last time around, the Sparkle Hands. I mentioned that it would make it more likely for him to use unarmed attacks, but I didn't really expand on that or what lightning charges really do for you. Every time he hits with an unarmed attack using these gloves, he will gain 2 lightning charges, which will naturally decay at the rate of 1 per turn. So if you successfully strike every turn, you will build them up at a net rate of +1 charge per turn. Lightning charges give you a +1 to your attack rolls as long as you have at least 1 charge. It doesn't stack with more charges. Additionally, you deal an additional 1 lightning damage if you have at least 1 charge. This also does not stack. But once you have at least 5 charges, the next time you deal damage, all those charges are consumed and you will deal an additional 1 to 8 lightning damage. Some builds can stack lightning charges up very fast and get that burst every turn. We are not that, at least not right now. Until we have extra attack or maybe use a speed potion, we are very unlikely to actually see that burst payout. Essentially, for us, what it means is we will not carry around a couple of regular barrels to use as improvised weapons, saving us about 20 pounds of inventory weight. We will still prioritize improvised weapons or throwable objects that we can find, but if there isn't anything around nearby, we will just go ahead and punch and build up lightning charges and add a little bit of attack roll and damage to our second and onward attacks. In the meantime, we met a monster hunter who was searching for Astarion to capture and bring back to Baldur's Gate. Astarion suspects he was sent by Cazador, to whom Astarion was a slave. He fears he may still be subject to Cazador's control if he is found. We found Lae'zel's kin, and they attacked. After routing us once, we came back and ambushed them, finishing them off and getting a set of their silver breastplates for most of our party. On the body of who we suspect was their squad leader, we found a map to the Githyanki creche along the mountain pass, but it was quite a distance, and Trevor decided not to abandon the children to their fates in the grove, so we turned back. We finally discovered that Shadowheart worships the goddess of darkness, Shar. She has claimed that she has sacrificed her memories in the service of her mission, which is to bring our mysterious artifact to Baldur's Gate, but not much more than that. We encountered Auntie Ethel, and she lied to a pair of brothers about having seen their sister. As it turns out, Auntie is almost certainly a hag who has cast an illusion over her bog that has since been broken. We're not intrinsically invested in this, though Trevor is a little bitter that this seemingly sweet little old lady pretended to be our friend. We stumbled upon a note indicating that Kagha has been working with Shadow Druids. This may allow us to take our own vendetta against the acting first druid for daring to threaten a child. It's the next place we're headed for sure. This may have the side effect of granting the tiefling refugees relief from the druids. Trevor doesn't mind that, and in fact he quite likes the idea of the notoriety that it may come with. But if we're being honest, to him this is much more valuable as a potential opportunity to kill Kagha for her transgression. As another side note, the Githyanki map we find also informed us of a mission that the Gith have to hunt down a relic, one that looks exactly like our artifact, and in fact our artifact somehow communicated to us that it does not wish to be found by them. If we do go to the creche, we may learn more about this. Trevor made the unsavory choice to tap into his own tadpole to connect with Lae'zel's mind, when it appeared that it was the only alternative to ending her life. That night, a mysterious figure visited us all in our dreams, encouraging us to embrace the tadpole's potential to gain the power we need for our upcoming struggle. For Trevor, this renewed his determination not to do so. And this journal entry just reiterates that we have in fact learned the location of the Githyanki Creche, where Lae'zel insists the only path to a cure lies. Since we were attacked by them, however, Trevor is less certain now that they are the only or the wisest choice. Alright then, I guess it is time to see what Kagha has to say for herself. I'll meet you in the Inner Grove Sanctum.
Why are you here? I sent you to Zevlor.
Trevor wastes no time informing her he knows about her Shadow Druid plot.
What?
That damn nose of yours has gone poking in our business.
Mistress Olladin, I can explain.
Shh. No need. It couldn't be helped.
Kagha, what is the meaning of this?
You think yourself quite the spy, don't you? Go on, tell him.
And tell him Trevor will. Kagha has pretty much become a Shadow Druid.
A Shadow Druid? Kagha, have you lost your mind?
You and Elsin welcome untouchables to your midst. You defile the grove for the sake of harmony.
Olladin speaks truth. Who among you disagrees? Who would see this grove in ruin?
The choice is made. Kagha, burn the tainted away. Start with the snitch.
As you say, Olladin.
We could try to persuade Kagha to see reason, but Trevor is not interested in that. Have at you!
Oh? Then come get it!
Imperos.
Shadowheart will split off a single minor healing potion, place it on the ground next to Lae'zel, move over so she's close to it as well, and use her bonus action offhand crossbow shot to break the potion, giving both of them a bless effect. We're not injured, but this is a nice way to start the fight off with bless going at the low cost of a bonus action and a minor potion.
Time to strike.
Since Kagha is up soon in the initiative, it's worth using her action surge to try to get a banishing arrow to stick. She turns off sharpshooter for this because she's much more interested in landing the banishment than dealing damage just at the moment.
My faith will protect me.
We think about potentially commanding one of the druids with Shadow Harp, but their wisdom saves are pretty high. So we go ahead and fire off an attack roll cantrip, in this case Produce Flame.
Heading there.
I couldn't find a spot where it would let me throw the little druid into the chasm. So Trevor settles for going into Giant's Rage and throwing the druids at each other. As an added bonus, apparently throwing things counts as an unarmed attack for generating lightning charges.
Watch this!
That won't work.
Onward.
Take you!
I will ascend.
Again.
Kagha is back, so let's have Karlach use her smite now. She didn't end up using it last turn because she missed.
try something else.
Need some oil over here.
Nice assist from Wrath, blinding Kagha for a couple turns with his Dire Raven special attack.
Victory awaits. Taking position.
No hesitation. With haste.
Poor fucker. Victory awaits.
What now?
Aye, aye.
Another step forward.
That helped.
Anything of use?
The Broodmother's Revenge amulet will coat your weapon with a poison that deals 1 to 6 damage anytime you score a hit. That's a pretty good item. Lae'zel is the one primarily using our actual poisons, and the Broodmother's Revenge effect would override one if she's using one. Trevor isn't really using weapons at all, and Shadowheart is more often casting spells, so this item should go to Karlach.
To think Kagha had turned to the ways of Shadow. Her corruption ran so deep. Yet for her to die like this, under the Tree Father's gaze, perhaps it is justice. If only justice soothed my heart. A grove drenched in blood is no sanctuary at all.
What's up for discussion?
I knew Kagha was desperate, but I never imagined she'd get Cloakwood involved. And it cost her her life. What a waste.
I know you had to stop her, but Kagha was just trying to protect us. What are we going to do now? She's gone, Master Halsin's missing. We're exposed.
Kagha was right. We must put ourselves first. She's dead because of your meddling.
What a disaster.
Couldn't be helped.
To think we almost finished the ritual. I felt honored when I was chosen to participate. Now I feel guilty I didn't object.
This place ain't so special. Why were the Druids so protective of it?
Now they're done messing about with rituals, maybe them lot can make themselves useful.
Looks like the Druids have eased off some. Small mercies.
Ageni culamur in umbra.
Did I say that out loud? We've been chanting for days. I need some rest.
The Rite of Thorns has ceased. It seems you will be allowed to stay, but behave.
Damn outsiders. Sticking their noses into our affairs.
Now, about that idol. Trevor is not typically a thief, but these druids nearly killed a child over the attempted theft of this idol. Trevor understands why Mole would want it so badly, and it's hard to miss the poetry of it going missing now. Problem: no one here really has the skill for that.
Breeds madness.
Thankfully, some of the arrows that Lae'zel has picked up cast a shroud of magical darkness. That should suffice for this heist, but we'll need to move quickly.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Trevor moves into the cloud to hide while the others gather on the nearby lift.
It's a friendly-looking shadow.
Hey-ho. Let's go.
Bit of caution never hurt.
Then, Trevor moves it off the pedestal into the darkness proper, snags it, and, as quickly as my not-so-nimble fingers allow, we escape to camp before suspicion is raised. As we reapproach the grove, Trevor is pretty sure no one saw enough to connect the missing idol to his group, but he approaches cautiously just in case. Meeting no initial sign of resistance, we head straight for the dragon's lair to give the idol to Mole. Now make no mistake, if this were a city with any kind of policing, we would definitely be caught. We're amateurs here. But the druids were distracted by the loss of Kagha, and they are naturally much more suspicious of the tieflings, especially considering one of them already attempted this theft. We weren't seen. By the time their attention turned to us, we wouldn't have the idol anymore, so as far as I'm concerned, this is a perfectly viable outcome.
I had a feeling you'd be back.
No fanfare here, Trevor hands over the idol.
Thanks. See you in Baldur's Gate, I hope. Now scram, before I get emotional.
Now the Ring of Protection is a very simple item, +1 bonus to armor class and all saving throws. But it is a good option for literally any build I can think of. It will be a long time before this ring doesn't occupy somebody's finger. Right now, straight to Trevor's hand. And then we make our way to Zevlor to tell him the news.
I'm told the druids have stopped their damn chanting. What happened?
Trevor tells Zevlor that Kagha has fallen. He doesn't regret it, but it's still grim news.
Truly. I'm sorry it had to come to this. But she left us with no choice. Thank you. We still have the goblins to contend with, but you've given us time to prepare. I need to ensure my people make the most of it. But here, left over from my soldiering days, It's sparse thanks for what you've done for us. And I'm afraid I have more yet to ask.
Trevor didn't do this for Zevlor specifically, but he can tell another request is coming.
You've bought us some time here, but the goblins are still massing out there. We'd need an army of our own to escort us safely to Baldur's Gate. And while I don't doubt your abilities, you're no army. There may be a way, though. Goblins are ill-disciplined. It's unlike them to organize so cleverly. Somebody must be leading them, bringing discipline to their ranks. Take out that leadership, and they'll scatter. It's no small thing to ask, but I've seen you fight. You're equal to the task.
Trevor was already thinking of visiting the goblins. He asks if they can pay for this additional service.
I suppose so. We don't have much, but we'll scrape together whatever we can.
Trevor remembers producers who didn't end up paying his appearance fees and what happened to them. He reminds Zevlor to make sure he has what he's promising.
Of course. Everything we have. Anything we can give you, we will. We'll be ready to leave as soon as you give word. Bodyguard, Tilses. This isn't Avernus.
No, sir. At least the monsters there looked like monsters.
Hellrider's Pride is a pair of gauntlets that grants a Blade Ward effect to any other creature the wearer heals for a couple of turns. It does not function on the wearer themselves. However, it pairs very well with the Whispering Promise that Shadowheart is already wearing. Now that she's got both items, anytime she heals someone, they will be both Blade Warded and blessed for 2 turns.
Let's move. Have to keep going. Huh.
Before going to the goblins, though, Auntie Ethel's deception has been eating at Trevor. He does not appreciate her trickery and ruses. Next time, he's going to pay her a visit and let her know just how much.